I guess I better confess I had an ulterior motive for making the offer.
I had that feeling. You never brought Gus's name up once, which meant that you were thinking about him the whole time.
Didn't realize I was so transparent. What tipped you off?
Well, so are you going to do the right thing or not, look?
Well, you see, I was hoping you would volunteer an answer to that question without me having to ask.
Well, I decided that I can do only the honest thing, which is tell Mason that I'm not sure about the voice identification. No matter what kind of person you think I am, I do not want an innocent man to go to jail.
I never thought you did. I hope you'll forgive me for using the phony voices.
Forgive me? Actually, this is the first time I've ever felt happy about being wrong. I mean, Gus is a very hardworking, very honest man, it seems.
Yeah, all he wants is a chance, and thanks to you, he's got me. Thanks.
Tell Gus he's welcome.
Back in town. They told me. Nice digs. And I didn't believe them.
What are you doing here?
What's the matter? You got laryngitis or something? Mason? Oh, believe. He looks right at home, Sprola.
How did you find out I was here?
Well, you know me. I've got good sources everywhere. I thought maybe you want to... Forget about that. You know, I got to hand it to you, lady. You didn't waste much time finding a good substitute.
You all right?
Sure, I'm fine.
Your playing was beautiful until the end.
Well, I always thought that music should be a little more like life. It doesn't always have a happy ending.
We all miss you so much. You're never far from our thoughts. We're doing everything in our power to bring you home to us where you belong. Right now I'm thinking of the baby girl I held in my arms and wished so many wonderful things for in her life. I believe they will wait for you, Kelly. Soon this nightmare will end. We all have to believe in the future. Your future. Your father and I love you with all of our hearts. Brave. With all my love, Mama. I'm gonna make it, Mom. Given what we've got to go on, it doesn't look very good for Gus. Circumstantial or not, Mason's evidence is very damaging.
Well, we gotta find our own evidence. We gotta prove it was somebody else.
Time is a factor. Mason is going to ask for an early trial date. He always does.
Unless, of course, he drops the charges, which could very well happen.
I'm not following you.
Julie, I have to be honest with you. I can't honestly say that the voice I heard of the thief was Gus's.
You're not sure?
Well, I was scared and I was very upset the night of the robbery, and I can positively say that I'm not sure that the voice was Gus Jackson's.
Eden, will you be able to testify to that in court?
I don't see why not. I mean, I think we should tell Mason, though. I mean, a major case like this it's just crashed and burned.
Maybe we can get him to drop it.
Why don't you leave that to me? I think I'm going to relish this.
Was there something I can do?
You've already been a huge help, believe me.
Yeah, truly. Now the fun part begins. Now we gotta track down the dude who actually did it.
Well, do you have any ideas?
A couple.
Can I help?
I don't know, maybe.
I really would like to do something.
We'll see.
Listen, I'm going to let you two argue about this, and I'm going to go find our illustrious district attorney, and if this doesn't make him change his mind, nothing will. Eden, you are terrific. Thanks.
Well, your turn.
You are terrific.
Is he brain dead or something? Who could sleep through? Made for each other.
Pearl, please, just leave. Come on, leave.
First you're gonna tell me what's with Rip Van Capwell.
Mason is just a friend. Even if he was something more, it is none of your business.
Yeah? I make it my business to jump into the water when sharks circle my friends. Or at least cry for help.
I am not a threat to Cruz. I told you that before
Come
I
on,
left.
sweetheart. You're just being born on the same planet means a threat to Cruz, and now with the baby. So, how do we make Mason out? What is he, your new meal ticket? Or an easy way to spy on Cruz and Eden? What is he?
How dare you? How dare you judge me? Get out of my house.
I'd be
Get out.
happy to, but first you're gonna tell me why you came back to Santa Barbara.
You're either a very scruffy alarm clock or the loudest house pest I've ever seen.
I'm sorry to disrupt your beauty sleep, Mace.
What's all the shouting about?
Victoria and I were just discussing local politics here.
Pearl was just leaving.
I wasn't, Edith.
Well, which is it, Victoria?
Excuse me, Mason. Victoria and I have something to discuss one-on-one.
It's okay, Mason. Pearl just wants to talk.
Yeah, but do you want to listen?
Yes, I think I should. Would you mind leaving us alone?
Yes, I would mind. I haven't seen the end of the movie yet.
Well, read the book.
Really, Mason, I need to get this over with.
Yeah, a lot of people have that reaction to Pearl's visit. All right. Well, you sure you'll be all right?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Okay, call me later. I'll probably be at the office.
Oh, and really, thanks again for the company and the movie.
It's my pleasure. Remember what I said, huh? Rest, and let me know if Jimmy got the girl.
Doesn't that always work out that way?
Yeah, in the movies anyway. Night.
He sounded pretty worried about the mother-to-be.
You sound like my father.
Young lady, if I was your father, you'd be home with me and out of Cruz's sight for at least the next 9 months. Unless, of course, you didn't mean all that hullabaloo about loving Cruz and wanting him to be happy.
Of course I meant it.
Oh, I see. So now it looks like you're throwing him over for a bigger wallet.
Wouldn't that please you?
It would please me if I felt that you and Mason had found each other for all the right reasons.
Yes, and I went back to L.A. where I belong.
Exactly. And I'll tell you something else, young lady. It's not going to do you any good to go from a bad situation with Cruzy to a natural disaster with this man.
You are way out of line. Mason knows about the serious problems that I'm having with this pregnancy.
So that's why he just happened to appoint himself as your own personal bodyguard.
Mason cares enough to know when I need a friend, which is more than I could say for the rest of the people in Santa Barbara. There's nothing that I would like better than to leave this town, but since my lovely business manager has run off with all my money, I don't have much of a choice now, do I?
Except to rely on the kindness of strangers.
I am planning on paying Mason back as soon as I can. But until then, how I live my life has nothing to do with Cruz or Eden or anyone else for that matter. And if you don't believe me, that's just too damn bad.
Oh, until my music came along, there wasn't a whole lot that interested me the same way. And you can really lose yourself in a good piece. You just let it sweep over you and somehow your problems disappear.
An escape.
Oh, we all need one.
I couldn't quite recognize that piece.
It's an old composition. A favorite of someone I cared for a great deal.
It, has a haunting quality?
Yeah? Oh, my own interpretation, I guess.
I sensed a great loss.
You don't miss much, do you?
Maybe it's because I have children, I can see the signs.
Ah, but I'm not one of your children.
Ah, but you are avoiding my question.
And the person who liked the song is gone now. Passed away.
Sorry.
I like to think that she's finally at rest.
Still difficult for those who are left behind.
Well, the ones she left behind don't even know she's gone. And if they did, I doubt very much that they'd miss her.
No one's that careless.
They're only careless if they think they've gotten away with something. In this case, I don't intend to let that happen. You listen to me, I'm as morbid as the music.
No, I understand that wanting to lash out at those you think have hurt the people you love.
Yeah, it sounds like you have someone in mind.
You don't know Gina very well. But at least I have learned that I can't live my life with revenge because that makes me no better than they are.
You honestly believe that?
Oh, if I didn't believe it, Jeffrey, I couldn't even walk through the door into this house.
Oh, you must have a kinder heart than I do.
Was she your girlfriend?
Look, if you don't mind,
I'm
I'd rather...
terribly sorry, I understand.
I wasted enough of your time, Mrs. Monty. I better get back to work.
On the contrary, you haven't wasted my time at all. I've enjoyed this conversation. I'd like to do it again.
Sure, I'd like that. But if I'm going to keep this job, I better pick Mrs. Capwell up at the store.
Jeffrey, I would really like if you played that piece for me again all the way through.
I'm not even sure that I remember the rest of it. Like you said, maybe some things are best forgotten. Powerful DA. Harvard. Of course. Only the best for young Mason. Did they have any idea what they were creating? Mind filled with knowledge and facts. Heart empty of feeling, empty of compassion. Spoiled in childhood, spoiled as an adult. Man has no idea what it's like to work for a living. It's all been handed to him on silver trays. You have it all, Mason. That is going to change very soon. So, a human after all. Full of secrets, Mason. I'm gonna learn every last one. Count on that.
I know you're going to find this kind of hard to believe, Victoria, but I actually came by to see if you were okay. Maybe you needed some fresh air. I want to take you out, and we could do something.
You just care about Cruz. You're afraid I'm going to mess up his life.
Well, sometimes without even trying, that's what happens.
How can I do that, confined to an apartment?
What? Is it that bad?
Yes, the doctor says unless I take it easy, I'm not going to carry this baby to term.
Then I'm really doubly sorry about barging in this evening the way I did. I really...
It's all right. No harm done.
Look, I'm not exactly the soul of compassion, but I do know how hard it is to forget about somebody that you love.
Well, I'm going to have to accept that. Because Cruz doesn't love me, and that's what makes this whole situation impossible.
Well, the baby could change that.
No. It would just make him feel guilty. And at this point, I could think that was love.
You know something? You're a lot braver lady than I ever gave you credit for.
Oh, I don't know. What I do know is that I'm never going to let this baby get caught between its mother and father.
Well, either way you look at it, somebody's going to have to lose.
Not my baby. This baby is going to be loved more than any other.
I believe you. I really do, and I'm sorry about this. You know me, I've got a finger in my ear and a foot in my mouth. If you need anything, call me. I'm here.
I will.
But you won't. Will you promise me one thing? Just one last word of advice. Another man is going to act as a good substitute for Cruz.
I would never use Mason as a substitute for Cruz. But I have to tell you, it's really nice to know that he cares when I start to feel a little lonely.
Well, you know what I do when I feel that way is I take a walk or I go to the movies. I went to 6 films last week.
What happened to all your friends?
When the right one isn't around, it makes it kind of difficult.
Wait a minute. Am I nuts or are you in love?
I'm in limbo. But yeah, there is somebody that I would like to take to those movies.
Well, then why don't you?
Well, it's kind of complicated. It's a long story, but hopefully it will work itself out soon. I figure if I get 2 on myself, then I'll begin to believe it, you know. Life can be a real bowl of cherries sometimes.
Well, keep smiling.
Just want to know when I can start.
No, Mama, nothing's wrong. I just wanted to talk to you.
What is it, baby?
I just had a dream about the family, and I'm so anxious to see you. I miss you. Mama?
Listen, honey, it's not going to be much longer. We're working on something.
Working on what?
Well, I can't say it. It's too soon to tell you anything. But don't lose your hope, and we love you.
I love you, too. Well, what about Pearl? Can he call me, or I'll call him if that's all right?
You know what? Maybe I can arrange that.
Thanks.
If you'll do something for me.
Anything.
Take care of yourself.
I will, Mom. Don't worry about me. I'm okay.
That's what mothers are supposed to do. That's what they're for. They're to worry. You'll understand that someday. And before I hang up, I just want to ask you, do you remember what I used to say to you when I tucked you in at night?
Of course I do. I wouldn't go to sleep until you did.
When the day is over and the night has come, my child must sleep to greet the sun.
So think of things all bright and new and wake to find they all come true. I love you, Mom.
Bye, baby.
And what do you think you're doing here?
I figured you'd come by eventually. Al, the night janitor, let me in. We've become old pals since New Year's Eve.
No champagne this time, huh?
Actually, Mason, I've got some bad news for you. I think you better sit down.
No, I like my bad news standing up. Is it business or personal?
Business. Legal business.
As opposed to carnal business, huh?
I just came from seeing Eden.
Oh, how is my star witness?
She's confused. She's withdrawing her positive identification of Gus's voice.
She's already made a statement.
Consider it withdrawn.
Maybe she just needs her ears cleaned.
I don't think she's going to change her mind.
Oh, I don't know. Eden's a queen of vacillation.
Not anymore. You might as well admit it, Mason. You don't have a case without Eden's testimony.
Julia, wanting a child doesn't mean you have to act like one. That doesn't make any difference.
I am not going to let you get to me.
Well, you know I'm right. I don't need Eden's testimony to convict Gus. I've got more than enough evidence now to put him back with his poker buddies at Chino for a long time.
Not without a fight, you don't.
I'm disappointed, Julia. I thought you came here to discuss our other project, and you bore me with a lot of meaningless legal details.
You are impossible.
Yeah, so is your case. When are you going to stop chasing lost causes?
When I stop believing in the law and when I stop believing that every citizen has the right to the best possible defense.
What, did you play Joan of Arc in the 3rd grade or something, Julia? This is the real world here. Ex-cons with a motive and an opportunity to commit a crime don't tend to stay out on the streets for very long.
That's your view of the world, Mason.
Yeah, and your view of the world got you hung up on scum like David Laurent.
Ooh, that was mean, Mason. Even for you.
I'm sorry.
I took a risk, and if I made a fool out of myself, it was because I cared about another human being. And I will continue to make a fool out of myself, if need be, for the rest of my life. When was the last risk that you took?
The day I asked Mary to marry me.
Mason, can we please keep this to business, all right?
The only business we have, Julia, will be discussed in the courtroom. That's when Mr. Jackson's fate will be decided.
Mason, you are bright enough to realize that you don't have a case without voice identification.
Oh, I can still win it.
And what makes you so sure?
Oh, the facts, my legal genius, superior intelligence, and the most damaging piece of evidence found to date.
Where did you get this?
It was found in Gus Jackson's apartment. Let's just call it the final nail in his coffin.
Oh, no. I can see Gina had another light day at the stores.
This is only the half of it.
Where is the lady of the manor?
Upstairs, resting. I better get the rest of her stuff.
Jeffrey, I didn't want you to misunderstand earlier. I really wasn't trying to pry into your personal life.
You didn't.
I thought maybe we could be friends.
Actually, I never had many friends or family, and since I tend to get a little uncomfortable around them.
Well, it's nice to have someone to lean on. There have been times I wouldn't have known what I could have done if I hadn't had Cece and the children.
You know, I've been wondering about that. It doesn't take much to see that Mr. Capwell married the wrong woman. What went wrong? I mean, why aren't you guys married?
Our daughter had some problems. We had to put it off, and Gina took advantage.
Ah, yeah, she looks like she'd be good at that kind of thing.
Oh, Jeffrey, she is a master.
But you and Mr. Capwell married a long time. Before that, I mean.
We had a wonderful life and a beautiful family. But then we made some mistakes that went wrong. I seem to have had this self-destruct button inside me that went off, and I couldn't be happy, or maybe I didn't think I deserved to be happy. Anyhow, I made some mistakes. It's not right. If you make mistakes, I destroyed trust, and when you do that, you can't go back. We were lucky we got a second chance. And then Gina came along.
You said it had something to do with your daughter? Kelly, isn't it?
I don't think we should be discussing this.
I'm sorry. I better get back to work. Thanks for the conversation.
Alex, would you hand me the keys to the storage room, please? Alex? Thanks. Why aren't you answering me?
Because my name's not Alex.
What are you doing back there? What are you doing with the credit card receipt?
Well, I'm investigating the robbery. You know, when I waltzed in and out of your office with the strongbox without a hitch, your security system stinks.
You know, you could have asked me for them.
Give me this. You were busy. You got a break now, though. I could use a little help.
You know, you have a lot of nerve.
That's what you like about it. I mean, look at all this stuff. Doesn't anybody use cash anymore?
And what good is this going to do?
It'll tell us who was in the restaurant the night of the robbery.
If they used a credit card.
From the looks of this, everybody does.
Well, you get a list of names. Don't you think the guy who robbed this place was smart enough to use cash?
What if he used a stolen credit card? What if he used, like, a fake one off of somebody else's carbons? You know, that would narrow down the list, wouldn't it? People like this make mistakes. It's just a matter of finding them.
So what if you're wrong? I mean, what if Gus did it and he isn't innocent?
I'm not wrong. Gus is innocent.
Look, just because I couldn't identify his voice doesn't mean that he didn't do it.
Do me a favor. Go through the stack. Take out the ones of the people you know. That'll eliminate them right off the top, okay?
You know what? I have work to do out there.
You got a whole crew out there. Let them earn their keep for a change.
I wonder if this turns out to be a waste of time.
Humor me.
Would I still be here? Look, if I need help cleaning these tables later, you're drafted.
Yeah. There you are. Oh, what? I'm looking all over for you.
Really hot. Wow, how did you get here so soon?
Are you kidding me? I broke the land speed breaker from my place to here. You said it was about Kelly.
It is. She called.
Oh, no. Something's the matter. They found out where she is.
Wait. She's fine. She's in a beautiful estate. They're doing everything they can to make her comfortable.
Except love her the way that we can.
All right. That's what I wanted to talk to you about. She asked for you again.
She did.
Yeah.
And everything is fine.
Yeah.
Just tell me where she is and beam me in.
Now, wait a minute. You know I can't do that. Cece would have her moved again in a minute, but I think it would help if we called her.
Well, remember what happened the last time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, where is Mr. C now?
He's in New York, but this time I think he'd agree with me.
Oh, Sophia, you're an angel. I mean, the gods, they should erect a statue in your honor.
That's not a bad idea, but why don't we just call Kelly?
Oh, you dropped your earring.
Yeah. Pearl?
Oh, yeah. So I'm a little desperate.
It's ringing.
Come on. Let me surprise her right off the bat, okay? There's nobody answering.
Hello?
You'll never guess who this is.
Pearl!
Right on the first kiss, sunshine.
How did you know where to call me? How are you? I miss you so much.
Hey, slow down.
Slow down. I can't hear you. I can't hear you that fast. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
You sure?
I'm positive. Now, come on. Tell me what you've been up to.
What, about 5'11"?
Come on, be serious.
I've been missing you. After that, nothing much seems to be very important.
I miss you, too. Listen, I've done a whole series of sketches of the landscape around here. I can't wait for you to see them.
I bet they're gorgeous. You make sure and bring them back when you come home.
Yeah, whenever that'll be.
Oh, no, sooner than you think, sweetheart. And when you do, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go out and we're going to celebrate, okay? Is it a date?
Yes, it's a date. I can't wait to see you.
Hey, that's my
Fine. I got to go now, so you're going to take good care of yourself. You promise me that?
I will. You, too. Listen, thank Mama for me, okay?
Oh, I'll thank you for both of us. I'm not giving up on us. I'll see you before you know it. All right? And
Until next time.
Till next time. I miss you.
I miss you, too. Constantly. You hang up first?
Okay, bye.
How did she sound?
Perfect.
Yeah, babe, I know. Listen to me, it won't be much longer.
I can't play out this waiting game any longer, Sophia. I can't do this.
Cece is doing everything he can, but he needs a little more time.
It sounds to me like you two, you have a plan. Well, what's going on? What's
Sorry,
up?
I can't talk about it.
You don't trust me?
Wait, now, it's not that. We have to protect Kelly.
After everything that I've done for this young girl, you still don't trust... I'm still an outsider?
It has nothing to do with that. So much could go wrong. We have to be careful.
That's why I want to work on the inside. I can help, Sophia. You say it, I'll do it. Kelly is the most important thing in my life right now. And I want her here with me. I don't care what it takes. I just want to bring her home.
Must be my night for visitors.
I wanted to come to explain about the voice identification.
Oh, that's all right. Julia already filled me in. My mistake was in counting on you.
Well, I have to be honest about what I know, Mason.
Your honesty seems to change like the weather, Eden.
It's not fair. I listened to the tape. I don't think that it was Gus Jackson's. That's all that should matter.
That and pleasing Cruz, huh?
Cruz has nothing to do with this.
Oh, I think your boyfriend has made a personal crusade out of Gus Jackson.
He believes in his innocence. It sounds to me like all you care about is winning this case.
All I care about, little sister, is presenting the facts. The judge and the jury will do the rest.
Well, the fact is that I made a mistake. The voice could have been anybody's.
What would you say if I told you I had further evidence that points to Gus?
Well, that doesn't change the results the voice print.
You'll forgive me if I don't register shock, won't you?
How can you be so cold? We are talking about ruining a man's life, Mason.
No, Gus Jackson did that when he robbed the restaurant. I'm just cleaning up his mess.
You're wrong this time.
Well, if I am, it will be because I followed my own instincts and not somebody else's.
If you think that's what I'm doing, then you don't know me very well.
I know you love Cruz so much that you would do anything for him.
That's right, for him. I wouldn't lie for a man I don't even know.
Even we could go back and forth about this until daybreak. With or without your help, I'm going to get Gus Jackson convicted, and you can pass that bit along to your boyfriend.
You know, Alex, it's amazing to me that nobody in this joint remembers anything out of the ordinary that night. It's almost like it was an inside job.
We were just so busy that night, it's hard to remember much of anything.
And nobody stood out.
Oh, just the usual bunch of regulars. Oh, there was this one kind of heavy-set guy. Said he was in town on business. Nice guy, nothing out of the ordinary. Except he wanted his martinis like James Bond, shaken, not stirred.
James Bond. Who else?
There was a terrific-looking blonde, that's hard to forget. Oh, and there was another guy, a black gentleman. Fairly young, very sharply dressed.
Was he here long?
No, not really.
Anything interesting about him?
Yeah, he was wearing a diamond ring. It was so flashy, it stood out. I even asked him about it.
And what did he want to drink?
I don't remember. But I'll never forget that ring. I've never seen one that bright. As soon as he finished his second drink, he took a quick look around and then left.
Had you ever seen him before?
No, I'm not that great with faces, but I would have remembered that ring.
Tonight has been one of the weirdest nights of my life, Julia, and trust me, I know weird.
What happened?
It starts with me visiting Victoria Lane. Lo and behold, who do I find sprawled out on her living room couch? But none other than our resident D.A. You believe that?
Mason was at Victoria's?
Yeah, well, let's just say his body was there. I think his mind was more like in La La Land. Huh?
Was he still there when you left?
Yeah, well, he was going as I was coming. What? I don't understand why all of a sudden curiosity about Mace.
Well, he's prosecuting Gus's case. I just thought that he would be working all night.
It didn't look too much like work to me, I'll tell you. Well, anyway, I hear that he's really going after Gus with the vengeance.
Yeah, well, wherever you find headlines, you'll see Mason.
Yeah, I agree with that. Listen, are you going to pick at that, or are you going to let me have a little bite to eat? I'm starving, you know. All this time, all this pandemonium, I haven't had a chance to eat or anything. So let me finish the story. Sophia calls me. I go over to her place. She wants us to call, guess who? Kelly Capwell.
It's wonderful, Pearl.
You're telling me it's wonderful. I mean, just hearing this little girl's voice lifted me like 3 feet off the ground.
Every time you mention her name, it makes you smile.
I think it's a real thing this time, Counselor. I'm really, really busy with her. I just hope I have the stuff to pull us out of this mess. I mean, I don't even know where she's hiding or...
You're probably better off being in the dark anyway, and even if she were here, you'd still question the relationship.
No. I would trade long-distance doubt with up-close doubt any day of the week and twice on Sunday. You know, I love that little girl so much that every day I don't see her, I miss her more.
Funny.
Well, what's funny?
You could just come right out and say that you love her. I don't remember a time where I ever could say that I love anybody out loud.
Oh, come on, Counselor. Everybody loves somebody sometime. I mean, Could all the radio songs of the whole wide world be wrong? Huh?
You know what I think this century needs? A good old-fashioned matchmaker.
Well, maybe I should apply for the job, huh, Julia? Look, life is weird any way you look at it. I mean, Victoria Lane, 3 weeks ago, she had money to burn. Now she can't even afford the matches.
It must be awful to lose everything that you have.
And who would have paid Mason to come to her rescue? Who would have ever done that? I mean, he's handling the entire situation. He found her a place. He says he'll be calling all the shots. Now, how in the world do you figure a guy like that?
That's just the problem. You don't.
Look, I said I was sorry for accusing you of lying. You want me to climb on the bar and make a public announcement? I'll be happy.
Damn, Mason. Following me isn't going to change my opinion of what you're doing.
Well, I was just trying to get justice done for you.
What?
It was your restaurant that was robbed.
And it's your career that's going to benefit from it. I would think you, of all people, would have some compassion, but no. I at least expected you to be objective.
Yeah, a guy really gets around, doesn't he?
Excuse me, Phil, I have to make a phone call.
What's wrong, Julie?
Then nothing. I changed my mind.
Feel like some company?
What do you think you're doing here?
Looking for you. I was getting very lonely at home.
Did you drive yourself here?
Yes, of course I drove myself here.
The doctor said you were to get complete rest.
Mason, I haven't been out since I got back to Santa Barbara. I can't stay in bed for 8 months.
You can if that's what it takes to get well. You're supposed to stay off your feet. Come on, I'll drive you home.
Don't be ridiculous.
I prefer it to being... You know, before I thought that what had happened to you was because you trusted the wrong people. I'm beginning to have my doubts. If anything happens to this child...
Nothing is going to happen to this child. This child means more than the world to me. You should know that. Want anything?
What?
The receipts, did anything turn up?
Maybe, I'm not sure.
Well, I've got some free time if you would like to go over them. We can sit down and...
Yeah, I'd appreciate that. How did your talk with Mason go?
I thought Tory Lane stopped coming in places like that.
That's so weird.
Well, Mason, was difficult, but I told him I couldn't testify against Gus.
Well, good for you. What can you tell me about a black man with a major diamond ring who might have been casing the joint the night of the robbery?
I don't know.
You don't remember him?
No.
Hello, Miss Capwell.
Jeffrey, what are you doing down here?
Well, I thought I'd drive you home.
Did Mama send you?
No, but considering everything that's been going on, I thought, well, you probably shouldn't be leaving here alone.
I agree.
Well, then I guess I'm outnumbered.
Good. I'll see you in the car then.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Actually, I am kind of tired. Would you mind if I left you here with these things?
No, I was going to knock off in a little while anyway. I'd much rather you got home safely.
I like it when you worry about me.
Where else am I going to get help this cheap? Don't worry, I'll save a stack of these for you to work on tomorrow.
Oh, I knew there was a catch.
You did good today, pal.
What?
Well, you stuck your neck out to help somebody you don't even know. I'm proud of you.
Being honest isn't sticking your neck out, Cruz. Good night.
Good night.
You know, I was fine when I walked in here. It's talking to you that's upsetting me.
Well, pardon me for caring. It sneaks out now and then.
Well, I think it's wonderful that you care, but I have to start making my own decisions.
Well, that's fine, as long as you decide to go home.
I've got the feeling that you're not going to let up on me until I decide to go home.
I think I just saw a little light bulb go off over your head.
All right, you win. And to make you very happy, I will take a cab home and leave my car here.
You sure you'll be all right? Maybe I should drive you.
I am perfectly capable of getting myself home.
Would I be overstepping my bounds if I called you tomorrow?
No, I'd like that. You know, I think you're right. It would be stupid to take a risk on something so important. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Leaving already?
Yeah, I'm more tired than I thought.
But you just got here. Mason say something to upset you?
What is this, an interrogation?
Of course not. It just Mason seemed like he was angry about something.
Well, I've got a short fuse myself today.
I see. Well, I guess maybe I should learn to mind my own business. Everything okay?
Fine.
Good. It was nice seeing you.
Well, we meet again.
I've got a few things to say to you, Mason.
Don't you always?
Up until now, for whatever reasons, I seem to have forgotten what kind of man you really are.
We could go back to your place and I could refresh your memory.
That is just the attitude that I can't stand. You seem to take the nicest, most simple moments in life and reduce them to something so unimportant.
I did that right here in this restaurant?
You know what the worst part is? You lull people into believing that you are something that you're not.
Julia, just because you're having trouble with the Jackson case is no reason to drag personality.
I am not talking about the Jackson case. Here I'm talking about you, Mason. I have seen a man in you who is sweet and charming and who cares about other people, and I have seen him do some very sensitive things. But it's deceiving.
How so?
Because I started to believe you were that man, and you are not. Mason Capwell is an ambitious, self-serving man who doesn't give a damn about how anybody else feels about anything.
Now, wait a minute. You don't get to hit and run this time, Julia. That may come as a bit of a shock to you, but not all men are storybook heroes or complete bums. Now, if I'm guilty of anything, it's showing you that there's more to me than a pretty face. If you can't handle that, it's not my problem, it's yours.
One day when you find yourself all alone, Mason, you are going to understand what I've just said to you.